Hello and welcome. First things first, I hope you are all keeping safe and well. I hope you are adhering to your local government's advice by staying at home. I, on the other hand, have found myself with an opportunity to actually get out of the house, not for a non-essential reason, but for an essential reason, and I'm doing a supermarket run for my partner's mum, who's over 70 and is just looking for some essentials. So that's what I'm doing today, but it's given me the opportunity to get out and about. Well, hello and welcome to the Ford Kuga PHEV. My name is Colin Hennessy, and thankfully I've found an opportunity to actually get out in the car for a few miles and try and give you some sort of insight as to what it's like to actually own it and drive it. So we've had the car now for about 2 weeks. We've done about, well, 220 miles. 100 of those miles were driving back from the dealer in a place called Doncaster in the UK, and that accounted for about 100 miles. So we've had little or no time in the car outside of kind of puttering to the shops and stuff for that. But I've got a bit of a journey ahead of me now, and what I wanted to do on this journey is to understand as much as possible exactly the real world range of electric driving only in the car. Now, when I started off, the car, it was fully charged, 32 miles of range, and the mileage on the car was 213 miles. At the moment I've got 21 miles of range, having driven for a few miles already, and the mileage on the car is coming up to 222. So I've done about 9 miles in the car, and I've used about, well, 11 miles of range. So let's see where we are when I get home. Between now and then, I wanted to give you some thoughts on some of the features in the car that I actually really like, and if we have time we'll get to a couple that I'm not so keen on. So firstly, I may have sent you some shots already of the door protectors. They're unique, certainly in my experience of owning a car. I've never had them on a car before. I'm not sure if they're unique to a Ford, but I think they're an absolute godsend. I think they're very clever for what they are, and will no doubt protect this car and cars around it in the future. Take a look back at some of the other posts on the group, and maybe you'll see those images. Next up are the parking cameras. Now, I'm used to, previous to this car, I was used to a Peugeot 5008, and the cameras on that, even when the camera lenses were particularly clean, the resolution on the screen was not up to much. This car is completely different. I can't give enough praise to the resolution on the screen in this car for both forward-facing and reversing cameras. Really are a joy to use, and looking forward to using them more. Next, and again you may have seen some shots of this on the group, is the sunroof. Again, having had the Peugeot 5008, that didn't have a sunroof, so it was quite a dark car inside, obviously. And previous to the Peugeot, we had a Nissan X-Trail, which had a panoramic roof, and we really missed it. So to have it again in this car is a really pleasant thing. It's huge, and it opens quite a long way back, and then the blind retracts all the way as well, so you really do get a nice experience. And it when it opens, it's quite a big aperture to the sunroof as well, so we're really happy to have that. And it makes for a very bright interior, as hopefully you can see. Next up is the hands-free boot release. Now again, you might have seen shots or some footage around that as well. Again, having had the Peugeot, it's something new to us. We did have it on the X-Trail, but we didn't have the hands-free element to it. So to have it back and to have that hands-free element where you just need to place your foot under the rear bumper is very unique to us, and is a welcome addition spec-wise to the car in general. I think that will get a lot of use, particularly with having 3 young kids, a Labrador, and the amount of times we go shopping at weekends as well. So I think it'll come in very handy. Next up is the heads-up display. Now again, I've shown you some footage of that and some posts, but you know, the photos just don't do it justice. It really is handy to have, and again is unique to me in terms of car ownership. Now the car, what I'm looking at the moment, shows the indicated miles per hour that the car is actually doing at the moment, and it also shows the speed restriction on the particular road. So I'm on an urban road in the UK at the moment, and it's showing me a speed restriction of 60 miles an hour. Yes, it is very helpful, and as you use the car driver assistant aids, they show up on this as well. So if you're using lane assist or cruise control, there's very nice animations on the pop-up screen front. Next up is the auto return to park when you turn the car off. Now I've had experience of a Mini Countryman PHEV in the past, and the process to actually turning off that car and actually getting out of the car is requires quite a few steps. This car, they've seen fit to allow the car to return to park automatically once you turn the car off. In the Countryman, you actually had to physically turn the gear lever or place the gear lever into park before you got out of the car. So it's a nice touch and very welcome as well. Next up is the USB-C slot. Again, I've not had any experience of having that had in a car previously, but I believe it is a much more powerful, much more speedy way of communicating and charging your phone, and I hope it is I get to use it to its best benefit, basically. Next up on the list of things I like about the car are the brushed aluminium inserts in the door handles. Now you may think it's strange to have brushed aluminium inserts in the door handles and in the interior of the car, and then a carbon fiber effect across the dashboard of the car. Doesn't bother me. I like both effects, but I'm particularly happy to have the black brushed aluminium inserts in the door handles inside the car. I think they look really classy. I've not seen it before, and I think they suit the black interior of the car, plus the kind of level up spec that's in the ST Line X model of the car. I do think it is a nice addition. There's a couple of other options that are exterior features, which I will get to in time. I know a lot of you have been asking for an acceleration test, and I'm happy to do that, but I just need to find the space and time to get that done while not kind of flouting the restrictions that we have been placed on us at the moment. That will come in time. So we've returned home, and with an indicated electric range left of 15 miles and having done 228 miles, I guess that's given me actually around 15 miles off an original 32 mile range, starting range. So I've gotten 15 miles of fairly calm driving, and out of 17 miles of electric range. For my money, that's not too bad at all. Thank you very much for watching this video and taking the time. I hope it's given you some sort of insight into what it's like to own the new Kuga, and I hope there will be many more videos to come.